uppercut, uppercut, sonic boom! Well, hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. Welcome back to channel, I'm Bushka, and today's video is all about the M762 BERYL. Now, this is a gun that I've made a lot of videos on. The reason I make a lot of videos on this weapon is, well, it's changed a lot over the years, and it's also a gun that I really enjoy running. And as a weapon that I enjoy running, I get a lot of footage on it, and I also get a lot of questions on it, because the BERYL's kind of confusing for a lot of the player base, and I will go deep on this one, because there are certainly some aspects of the BERYL that don't really lend itself to the meta, but I think it is an incredibly versatile weapon, despite it not being hailed as so. Now, if you want to do more videos like this, I know the weapon videos have been super successful lately and people are really enjoying them. Please remember to share the videos, and if you do me a favor, subscribe. I mean, everyone asks for it, but it really does help make my socks roll up and down when I see the numbers going up. Makes me feel like I'm actually doing the right thing. So if you want to positively reinforce Bushka, hit the like button and subscribe. The M762 BERYL is the 7.62 answer to the M416. And it's not immediately apparent that this is the case, because it does feel very much geared towards CQC. And it is, as you can see here, romping and stomping all over the place. It is a real CQC boss. One of the reasons I love it so much, in fact, is its predilection for smashing people in CQC. And for the longest time, there was a big gap between the BERYL in my mind and everything else as a primary AR. And ARs are easily the most popular weapons in game. And they are popular because they're both versatile and they also get a huge bonus to headshot damage, which a lot of people don't talk about. We will talk about that a little bit more during the course of this video. The BERYL's waned a little bit in popularity lately. Now, a lot of that has got to do with other guns becoming better, but it's also about some changes to the game. Anyone that's been paying attention on the channel would, oh, by the way, this was so funny. This is Weedra and I. This guy rotated late, panicked in his car, and just drove into the blue. Like, he was never going to get it done. That was wild. Anyway, where were we? Yeah. So, God, that was just ridiculous. I was chortling away with that one. The game changed a lot when there was a variable fire rate. Basically, if you ran a device that could run 60 to 90 frames per second, you had an advantage over people who were running devices that were lower end frames per second. And the BERYL really picked up on that. The BERYL got a massive buff of about 10% off its rate of fire, which was strong, and it made the gun borderline overpowered. And obviously, as someone that was running the BERYL anyway, this was something I really got behind, and I ran the BERYL a lot. I mean, I'm not above saying that I was kind of OP because of a game imbalance, but you know, you win some, you lose some. That's all been fixed though, and in fact, the BERYL stablemate, the AKM, has been buffed hugely. Now, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but the AKM now has a rate of fire that is just about the same as BERYL, and a time to kill at 0.288, which is nearly identical to the BERYL's 0.282. There's really a lit match between the two of them, or a struck match between the two of them, as the saying goes. What does the BERYL have as an advantage that the AKM doesn't? Well, first and foremost is the equipment. The BERYL can mount a lower rail attachment. And if you can run a lower rail attachment, then you can do more to control recoil on your weapon than something that's basic, like an AK or an M16, which doesn't have any other form of recoil control apart from a muzzle attachment, i.e. a compensator. This gives you a wider variety of things you can do with the BERYL, and most notably, you can put an angled foregrip on it. Now, the angled foregrip is the absolute ayatollah of rock and roller when it comes to controlling recoil horizontally. I don't want to go too far down this path because I am going to be doing a full grip breakdown in the next month or so, and that's going to be a pretty important video, and we will go deep onto this stuff, but we're going to start by just saying that because the BERYL can mount a lower rail attachment, it's more accurate. And because it's more accurate, it can be used out to longer ranges. And in fact, I often mount a 3X on a BERYL and use it to spray. Now, that is not something you commonly do with an AKM. The BERYL hasn't got worse at this. I just don't do it as much anymore. And it's why you won't see a lot of clips in here of me spraying with a 3X on a barrel. It's not that it's not capable of doing it. It's just that I like to snipe. And if I'm sniping, I'm not spraying. That meta is a real thing. And a lot of people don't give the barrel enough credit. They try to run M416s and spray. They don't realize that out to about 100 meters, you can spray really well with a barrel and a 3X. And even beyond that, the base damage on the barrel is 45.9. The base damage on a SCAR-L, for instance, is 40.9. All the 5.56 ARs have exactly the same base damage. So you have a big damage advantage when facing most of the player base. Most of the player base at around 50 to 60 meters is firing an M4, you're firing a barrel. So you have a damage advantage there. And you definitely have a damage advantage in the up close and personal. The lower rail attachment, you can put on an angle grip, but I've seen a lot of people run a barrel with a, and honestly, this is the thing, a laser pointer, a laser sight, a laser pointer. It's like an office presentation, and use it just for hip fire. And I've done that in the past before myself, but I just find that this kind of range is where things really start happening magically for the barrel. That's about the 60 meter range, okay? And the reason I really enjoy this weapon is because it's so effective between that kind of 50, 60, 70, 80 meter range, that kind of section there, like where it's just dropping big sweaty wads of damage, even with a red dot on it. Now, we'll talk quickly about aim assist. People still carry on about aim assist with M4 sprays on 4Xs and 6Xs. Aim assist only works on red dots, holographics, and iron sights, okay? That's all it works on, nothing else. But it does work, and it makes it much easier to spray with a weapon like the barrel or the AK at any kind of range. Not to mention that okay, let me talk to you about the way headshots work in PUBG Mobile. This is something also a lot of people don't realize. I'm going to have to do a whole video on this because people just don't know this stuff. Headshots are given a multiplier. So your base damage is given a multiplier. That's how you get your headshot. It's why a Tommy gun, for instance, has a 41.9 base damage and only a 71.8 headshot damage, whereas SCAR-L has a 40.9 base damage and a 94 headshot damage. Well, the barrel's headshot damage is 105.5 into a no helmet wearing vest. That means it will one-shot someone if you hit them in the head and they're not wearing a helmet on a hot drop. You'll do 70 plus damage into a level 1 helmet, 73.85 in fact, and you'll do nearly 50 damage, 47.48, even on a level 3 helmet. That's a lot of damage, right? And it adds up very, very quickly. Not to mention you also have 40 rounds in the barrel with an extended quick draw mag, and you can see why ARs are so popular. Well, what would I run, a barrel or an AK? Oh, that's a tough question. Right now, the AK for me is in the ascendancy. It's never been stronger. That was the worst grenade. I don't know what that grenade was doing. Anyway, trying to kill my buddy who's getting the kill there. But I still find myself constantly running the barrel. And it's not because I just think it's better. It's also got a little bit to do with the fact that there is a massive bit of nostalgia for me with this weapon. This is the weapon that really became my trademark gun on channel. It's a weapon that I championed when everyone else in the world was running the M416, and that I ran the numbers on and convinced an awful lot of people that the Beryl M762 was a very, very competitive weapon and should be run. And because of that, I'd probably take the barrel. And it's not necessarily because it's better. I think the AK is probably better in the CQC. I think the barrel is probably the better, or I know it's a better weapon outside of that kind of 30 or 40 meter range. And I just prefer that. I love a little bit of versatility in my life. It's one of the reasons why I think the Mark 14 is so criminally underappreciated. Not only is it the most phenomenal CQC weapon in the game, but it's also broken at range and mid-range. Anyway, if you would do me a favor, don't forget, stick around, like the video, subscribe, turn on your notifications, And maybe, just maybe, leave a comment to let me know what kind of content you're after, what you'd like to see next, and I'll do my level best to put it out there and make it something that is a reality. I'm Bushka, you're the humans. Please look after yourselves. Please be nice to each other. Remember, it's just a game, and although we do play it for fun, it does sometimes get a little bit tense. Until next time, stay safe on the battlefield, and bye for now.